Read our latest story for details. Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer who was seen in a disturbing video kneeling on the neck of an unarmed black man for more than 9 minutes, is scheduled to go on trial this week. The killing of George Floyd drew outrage and a worldwide reckoning on police reform and racial justice. Here's what to expect from the courtroom. Jury selection is scheduled to begin Monday morning at the Hennepin County Government Center in downtown Minneapolis and last for 3 weeks. Opening statements are expected on March 29. Trial proceedings will span another 2 to 4 weeks, after which the jury will launch into deliberations for an indeterminate amount of time. The process is expected to be complete by mid to late April. If Chauvin is convicted, a sentencing hearing will be scheduled for a later date. Chauvin will have the right to appeal. Hennepin County District Judge Peter Cahill will preside over the trial. The Office of Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison is handling the prosecution against Chauvin, and Chauvin's defense lawyer is Eric Nelson. The case will be heard by a panel of 12 jurors along with up to 4 alternate jurors. The identities of the jurors will be kept secret, and all will be asked whether they can render an impartial verdict despite the massive amount of publicity the case has received. Chauvin, who has been released on $1 million bond, is charged with second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. He has pleaded not guilty. The 3 other former officers involved in the fatal May 25, 2020 arrest, J. Alexander Kueng, Thomas Lane and Tou Thao, are charged with aiding and abetting and will face trial together on August 23. All 4 officers have been fired. In order to convict Chauvin of second-degree murder, prosecutors will need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Chauvin caused Floyd's death while committing or attempting to commit a related felony, in this case third-degree assault. Prosecutors do not need to prove that Chauvin intended to cause Floyd's death. In order to convict Chauvin of second-degree manslaughter, prosecutors will need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Chauvin caused Floyd's death by culpable negligence, meaning he created unreasonable risk and consciously took a chance of causing death or serious harm. Since police officers are authorized to use force, prosecutors must prove that the force Chauvin used against Floyd was unlawful. In Minnesota, second-degree murder carries a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison. Second-degree manslaughter carries a maximum prison term of 10 years. Appearing before Cahill on Monday morning, Minnesota Assistant Attorney General Matthew Frank argued that jury selection should be stayed until recent appeals over whether to add a charge against Chauvin are resolved.